How do and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to find the disabled accessible entrance to the vampire at Chessington World of Adventures. Not exactly the easiest one to find. The accessible location is actually in the Trail of the Kings, and the easiest way to access the accessible entrance is from the Trawler Trouble and Scene Storm end of Trail of Kings. I don't know if you noticed on the way in, there was a small disabled access sign for the vampire, and again as we pass on the right, there was also a sign for disabled access. This is the easiest one to spot, but it's not the one that makes the most obvious choice for me, although it is the quickest one to the ride. As we go down, as you can see, it's a set free access to the point in which you start queuing. It is still a bit of a hike, and if you don't know it's there, you could get quite lost looking for it. On this particular day, the vampire was suffering some quite troubles, so there was quite a long queue on it, as the ride was currently closed when I was making this trip. We ended up having to do it 3 or 4 times, hence the queue waiting for the disabled entrance when we arrived. The harder entrance via the Trail of Kings is to go via Room on the Broom. One reason for this is you have to walk almost the entire length of the Trail of Kings. Another reason is that the Trail of Kings actually goes in the opposite direction. Although there's no reason to stop you going against the flow, obviously most people try doing it the other direction, which means that you'll come into conflict. The other problem we're using this way to get to disable access is there's no signposts going this way to show you that you can actually access the disabled entrance from this angle. This becomes especially true when you actually turn left to go into the disabled queue, as the disabled entrance sign is on the fence that would be behind you. However, if you did want a nice view as you're walking through, it could be a good opportunity to see Trail of the Kings on your way to the disabled entrance. Alternatively, I would recommend using the Trawler Trouble and Scene Storm entrance we mentioned earlier, as it can avoid this quite long walk through Trail of Kings if all you want to do is ride the ride. I'm not sure where that gate leads to, but I know it's not always open. So unfortunately that's not necessarily an entrance we could use on a regular basis. I probably should have taken notes of which animals we're passing by to make this video a little bit more interesting. However, I was just trying to concentrate on getting to the vampire ride to satisfy my 2 boys who wanted to ride it. Unfortunately, when we get there, yet again, the ride was down. We did eventually manage to get it on the ride for them, but unfortunately, some of the people, oh, there goes my finger. Some of the people riding, waiting in the queue, had actually not managed to ride a single ride at Chessington at this point because it was having a lot of problems at the time. And we all decided in the end just to tough it out and wait until they reopened Vampire. It turned apparently this time Vampire was not down for mechanical issues, but apparently somebody thought they'd dropped something on the ride. Quite annoying because they had to shut down the ride as if it was mechanical failure, while the staff could walk the ride in safety to see if they could recover it. As we come down, you notice a central column there. That is the sign that the next left-hand turn is the right entrance to the disabled exit. As you can see here, the queue is already beginning to form here. And as we turn around to the left, you can see that there's no obvious markings except if you do a complete U-turn and there's a disabled entrance. One last thing to mention about disabled entrance: while the Trail of Kings is accessible, the entrance to the vampire ride is stepped. And so there you have it, the entrance to the disabled access at Chessington World of Adventure for the vampire. Have a good one and see you again soon.